What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, low baggers? Happy Monday afternoon to all of you. Thank you for watching Sportsbook Review. This is Betting with the Bag. Big Monday night. I will be going over to Flash's house in a little over an hour to break down the live line. I've been looking at this Monday night football game for like over a week, knowing that we are going to do a live line with my 49ers, trying to figure out exactly how to handle the props market. Was scared all week in the NFL moves, did not have the balls to make moves on this card, so I'm making them now. I've locked in 4 prop bets, $100 a pop, and I'm pumped. I'm so pumped. Shout out to all the cappers in the chat. Fat Fisty first in the chat. Respect. Bob Taylor, Alex Ramirez, Dennis Garcia said, I'm tempted to sweat out Houston Pelicans under. Is it a bad idea? I'm tempted to sweat it out, but I'm not going to. I've got the live line, and I've added 4 prop bets, so I'm not going to reach right now. But we have Maxwell Smart joining us in 8 minutes to break down all 20 NCAA basketball games on the card. And I'm going to stick to my plan in NBA and NHL. We're going to go over that. We have 8 minutes. 8 minutes, no need to rush and freak out. 2 plays per day. Guillermo Zertucci, Deerslayer Ski, Lamont Williams in the house. Deerslayer Ski on Canes over 3.5 goals, and Emmanuel Sanders over 5 receptions. Yenny Toon in the house. 2 plays per day only, taking Seahawks +7. Celtics over 218, and San Francisco in college basketball, leaning Caps. We're going to break down that San Francisco-Yale game. Very interesting spot here. AM with his barbecue sauce titty play of the day. Seahawks money line at +205. We saw Teddy Covers already give out the 49ers on the early show, minus the 6. Rod Zawacki in the house says, Deerslayer, you see how many times the Canes have scored 4 goals this year? You know, this is a good spot for them, and I do not believe in Nilsson. Do not believe in they're smooth. Godwin in the house, talking about 245, a lot of points. That's up to 246 now. Smooth talking about that Rockets Pelican spot. There's Eric Swells in the house, not applicable. Jared Jones, Jesse Nemeth, Nuke Worker, Hustle Wilson, Kenneth Heath, Lizo, Eric Jones, Rico Money. How about Cal Poly gave out earlier? Cal Poly, second cover in a row. They're looking good. Oh, there's Ron Lofton. Says, hello all. Sitting in a hospital room while my wife meds from a broken hip. She's too drugged out to even know I'm here. Ron Lofton, sending your wife all the positive energy that we can muster right now. Ron Lofton's wife, hip banged up, sending you love, Ron. Thank you for joining us. Top set in the house, Keith Sadler, Canoscat, J-Rock. Great group. All right, let's get after it right now. Let's get after it right this very second. There's Big E. There's Ricky Bobby. Okay. First off, you know I'm on the over 46.5, and I don't love it. I get it. I understand why I made the move earlier in the week, but I don't love it. We broke down this game in so many different ways. I'm just going to quickly do it here for how I see the 49ers handling things, and then we'll go over my props. So those of you who watch the Niners, they set up a wide 9, 70% of the time defensively. Against the Seahawks, whom we know are going to try to run the ball down the Niners' throat. The Niners are 14th against the run. They're the best in the league at stopping the pass. They're going to go probably with a 4-3 base defense half the time. So Niners go wide. Sorry, I was doing it wrong. Niners go wide 9, 70% of the time. They go with a 4-3 base 30% of the time, okay? So tonight against the Seahawks, they're going to go to that 4-3 base half the time, because they know the Seahawks are going to run. And the Seahawks are going to run. The thing is, the Niners are getting McGlinchey and Staley back on the offensive line, and then they're getting Juszczyk back as their fullback. So what are the Niners going to do to the Seahawks? They're going to run the ball down the Seahawks' throat tonight. And so there's going to be so much running by both teams that I'm not in love with the over like I was before, but I like the over enough to take it at 46.5 early in the week. Okay. Yenny Toon says now it's 48. I have 47 across the board. Oh, we have a 47.5 that just popped up. It's 47 across the board. It did go up to 40. It even went up to 48.5 in a few books, but it's come back down. Okay. So here are my 4 prop bets. They are going to be official bets on my record. Okay. I'm on Seattle, San Francisco, combined rushing yards over 255.5. at minus 120. I'm going Matt Breida over 45.5 rushing yards at minus 120. I'm going Tevin Coleman over 53.5 rushing yards at minus 120. I'm going Niners gain most rushing yards, more rushing yards than the Seahawks at minus 125. Those are my 4 Monday Night Live prop bets. I will be drinking heavily with the boys. I'll be sitting right beside Flash. I'll be sitting with Jay from the Sports Cake and L Maxwell Smart. And I'll be looking for rush yards, baby. Gonna make up for my shitty weekend right there. $400 a pop bets. Let's get after it. There it is. Okay, so we have Max joining us in 3 minutes. 3 minutes. Ronnie Christie says over sketching me out. Yeah, I don't love the over. I'm not in love with the over. You're not ugly, just poor. New commenter says my balls twitch for picks. So that's how I'm handling this NFL game. I want rush yards. I want to drink heavy. And I want to have fun with everybody on the live line. That's the plan. JM says Polish vodka. I have no idea what I'm going to pick up at the liquor store on the way down. Okay, so that's what's up. That's done. Now, let's move on to hockey. I'm taking the Coyotes first period at plus 140. I get why people are taking them full game. Let's quickly see if I had have waited. Would I have gotten a better number? Money line, Coyotes. First period. Same. Plus 140 is still there. The thinking is this. Capitals are fat and happy. They've won 6 straight, 10-0-1 their last 11. They just beat Vegas. That was an important game to them on Saturday night. This game doesn't mean anything to them. Sure, they want to keep their win streak. They're not up to play the Coyotes. On the other hand, the Coyotes have lost 3 straight. They are pumped up to play these Capitals. Talk is going to have them rolling. I'm taking this Coyotes team first period at plus 140. There's my guy, Rez Mob, in the house. Rez Mob in the house. D. Chowda in the house. Great group. Great group. Okay, so Coyotes first period plus 140. There's my guy Barry in the house. Barry McCockiner. I'm on the Coyotes first period. I'm staying off Senators Hurricanes. It's a great spot for Carolina to get right. They just lost to this Senators team, 6-9-1, 1-5-1 on the road. In 7 road games, they've only scored more than 2 goals twice. I understand why people are on the under. Hurricanes have a lot of anger to get out. I'm staying off the total. There's my guy Viper NB in the house. So one play in NHL, I'm on the Coyotes first period at plus 140. In NBA, I lean toward the Pistons, but I'm not going to pull the trigger on these Detroit Pistons. I don't want to pull the trigger on extra stuff right now. I lean Detroit -3, but I don't want to back them in Blake Griffin's first game back. Mavericks Celtics, I'm getting a 3. There's a 2.5 at Heritage. Still, something's keeping me off. And I'll tell you, I guess, what it is. They win by 20 points in San Antonio and feel good about themselves. If they weren't coming off such a good game, maybe I would take the Celtics here, but I am not. I'm not taking the Celtics. Much love to you, Moses Saucedo. What's the taint play, Jimmy? We do not have a taint play. Rico Money locking in the Seahawks. Coyotes first period is my look on that game. So, let's keep rolling. Bleds W says, do you think the Caps game can go under? Yes, I think the Caps game can go under. Sure. Let's just go to it right now because quickly, we got to get to Max, and I'm excited to get to Max. I'm excited to be here with you guys. I'm excited about Monday Night Live Line. I'm excited about all this. Yes, I think it could get under 6. Yeah, but I don't know if that edge is big enough. It's certainly not big enough for me to bet. But yeah, I think that edge, if I was given a free play on the total, sure. But what I think will happen here is I'm betting on the Coyotes to get off to a fast start. And we know what happens when the Capitals get poked. They step up. They've been doing that all year. So, you're not ugly, just poor is in the over in the Celtics game. Says that looks good. Von Burgess does say 4-2 type of game. Shout out to my guy Fuzz Logic. There's Cash Action Bets. Cash Action Bets hammering some great stats to me on Twitter today. Great to see Cash Action Bets in the chat. Says both home teams and unders. There's Tunchi Lay in the house. All right. Sober Washington asking me if I'm Italian. No. I wish I was. Many of my friends are, but I'm not. Okay. So we're going to keep going. Down this line in NBA. Grizzlies, Spurs. Look, John Morant, Brandon Clark got the night off on Saturday. The Grizzlies aren't playing any defense. Do you actually get character? Do you see character from this Spurs team? Are they going to step up when Pop gets in their ear? I don't know what to make of these Spurs. I don't know what to make of them, but the way they lost and the way they are losing, the way they lost to the Celtics, undermanned Celtics team's terrible. There's good as gold in the house. Okay, Nuke Worker, we're going to get there very quickly. Eddie Olis says Indian Cowboy picked Timberwolves, not sure if I like it. It's a simple angle that I know and I love betting against team when their star player comes back. But this is a little different. Rockets, Pelicans. Sure, if I had a free play, it'd be fun to go under the 246. But I'm not doing it, and I don't want action there. Now let's go to the plays I want to jump all over. And that is, also we do know that Westbrook was out partying last night because he was playing poker with our Corey Mack last night till 2 a.m. at the casino in NOLA. So we do know that's happening. All right. Raptors first quarter +3. I had a chance to get it at +3.5 for show purposes. There's my guy Jam Man in the house. Jam Man, I miss you, my friend. Okay, first quarter. I'm on the Raptors +3. Let's see what I would get right now. There was 3.5s available for the shortest amount of time. Wow, it's back to, -110. -120 and -110, -115. All right, I'm on Raptors first quarter +3. Teddy Covers is on the full game. Then Jazz Warriors, I'm on the over 210.5. Over 210.5, -105. We've seen almost no movement from this full game total. What do we know? It's exactly where it was before. I'll tell you what we know about this spot. We know that Draymond Green is coming back. I guess I probably would have liked him not to be in the lineup. But if the Warriors want to run, he's got great fast break outlet passes and he uses them whenever he wants. If he's going to make this game more challenging for the Jazz, that should probably help. Because if the Jazz go up 20, then this over is not going to hit. Bob Taylor said John Morant is playing tonight. Yes, he is. He sat out Saturday. I'm on the over 210.5. Simply put, I think the Warriors are going to run, which is going to leave them a little bit tired defensively. They're already the worst perimeter defense in the league, and the Jazz are hitting threes right now. The Jazz right now have the NBA's best three-point field goal percentage at 37.6, led by Bogdanovich and Mitchell, 45.5 and 42.9. Cash action bets is on the Warriors and the under. A lot of people are on the under. I'm going the other direction. I'm on the over. There's Russell Gordy in us. Okay, so that's my action. I'm on the over 46.5 in the Monday Nighter, and I don't like it as much as I did when I made the bet. I'm on 4 prop bets, 100 a pop. Seattle, San Francisco combined rushing yards over 255.5. Matt Breida over 45.5 rushing yards. Tevin Coleman over 53.5 rushing yards. Niners gain the most rushing yards. And then in NBA or NHL, I'm on the first period. Coyotes at +140. We've been very successful in first period sides so far this year. In fact, we haven't lost one. We've only pushed. And then I'm on 2 spots. I'm on the Raptors first quarter +3. And then I'm on the Jazz Warriors over 210.5. And Nuke Worker says, I guess you heard Don Cherry got fired today from Coach's Corner. Yeah. And it was, it's about time, you know? It's about time. You know, how long do we want these backwards guys telling us about, you know, war and who should be wearing poppies? You know, it's a tricky conversation that he tried to get into. And I think he just wanted to say, if you're Canadian, you should wear a poppy. But he says it backwards because the man is backwards. So, Fat Fisty, the Raptors bet is first quarter. First quarter. And it is now time, Rafa, for the moment that everybody in the chat has been waiting for. Maxwell Smart NCAA basketball. Russell Gordy says, Caps full game. No, I mean, yeah, I expect the Caps to win this game. But I expect them to get pushed early by the Coyotes because this game means everything to the Coyotes and nothing to the Capitals. All right, let's go. Eddie Oyer thinking about telling Jay Money's Raptors Clippers under. We're going to get Jay Money on the morning show tomorrow. So, how do we start with Maxi? First, we roll our Maxi graphic. Break it down for us, Rafa.
It wasn't until 2018 that the diamond in the rough went from hooligan to king of the world.
The guy couldn't play for shit, dog. He was awful. But can he cap? Guess he can.
All right. Now, before we introduce the great Maxwell Smart, let's see his record after 1 week. A sign of a great capper. He's not happy with this record. Let's see. Maxwell Smart's overall NCAA basketball record. It's a good-looking record. 7.42% ROI week 1. I'd take that any day of the week. All right, now let's bring up the best bet record. Best bets are tricky. 2-2. Hit the first 2, lost the last 2. Now, I have tailed 14 of Max's bets in college basketball. We pop up that record. I had a plan with how I was going to handle Max, and it hasn't been successful yet. We're going to pop up my NCAA basketball record right there. All right. There we go. Now it's time to bring him on. Maxwell Smart, starting the week. How are you doing, my friend?
You know what? Obviously, it's college basketball season, so I'm a happy guy. Obviously, I have to live with the disgust that the flag behind me delivered on Saturday versus LSU. But no one wants to hear me bitch about Alabama. And I'm ready to break down this card because I want to talk about every game if we can.
We can. And we shall. 20 games ready to pop off, and let's get after it right now. Those of you watching at home, we are going to go right down the order here, right down the order of games. Kennesaw State, I don't remember writing that out. For some reason, I don't remember. I thought Mercer was... I've got to look at my notes just quickly here. We're going to go down each and every one of these. I thought Rice and Mercer were playing.
No, it's Kennesaw State. Rice plays tomorrow night.
Okay, so Rafa, take note of that. That would be game 5 on our list. Rice Mercer, cut that out. Now it's Kennesaw State Mercer. So why don't we start with Kennesaw State Mercer right now? And this game is popping off right in 12 minutes. Is that right, Max?
I don't believe so. I think that it starts at 7 o'clock.
Okay, so this game was not on the SBR odds page an hour ago. It's on right now. We'll start there. Kennesaw State Mercer. And so those of you watching from home, we're going to go right down the NCAA basketball odds page. So not on Sportsbook Review, not today. You actually have to click on NCAA basketball because we're going through all of the small schools as well. Okay, Maxie, let's get it started. Kennesaw State Mercer. Mercer opening up -12, now 11.5 across the board. This total's dropped 4 points. Opened up 152, now 149, 148.5, or 148. Max, Kennesaw State Mercer.
Yeah, it's pretty simple for Kennesaw State. They're pretty bad. They need Tyler Hooker to be the type of player he was last year. Danny Lewis can't be inconsistent, go 1 for 9 from the field. And Antonio Spencer has to continue being the rim protection and cleaning up the glass like he has in these past 2 games against top-tier opponents that were going to smack him in the mouth. And they did. Drake did and Creighton did. Obviously, this team has to get to the line more, continue to hit their free throws. They got to do better than 19% on the three-point line because in this day and age, without a lot of size, you need to be able to hit the three. Obviously, be aggressive on the ball and use Armani Harris. Get him on the glass. Get him in the game. I think that this is a guy that can be a junkyard dog and really be an energizer. For Mercer, it's pretty simple. Ethan Stair has come out with a really nice game against St. John's. They got smoked. The problem is, what's the deal with Ross Cummings? I don't know if Ross Cummings is going to play tonight, so I'll put it like this. I'm looking for the under. I'm looking for Mercer to play some defense after giving up 109 to St. John's. And I'm looking for Kennesaw State to try and slow down anybody that they can because every time they can't, they're giving up 80, 85 points. So I'm going to go with the under in this game. I think that Kennesaw State's going to have trouble scoring. I think that Mercer is going to want to play a little slower. That doesn't really impact them covering the 11.5 or 12 points. I think they do that also. But for the show purposes, I'm going to take the under.
Now, I am still on Pinnacle. Pinnacle opened this up at 152. Let's move over to 5 dimes here. Again, you switch around your opening lines you can set up this page of odds however you want at SBRSportsbookReview.com. All right, and same with 5 dimes. They opened it up at 152 as well. It's now at 149 at Bookmaker, 148 at Pinnacle. At Bookmaker, you can get 149 at -118, or you can get 148.5 at -110.
Yeah, I take the under 149.
149, and here we got Max's first play of the day. It's the Kennesaw Mercer under 149 at -110. 18th. Available at Bookmaker. Interesting. It's right at the edge of my. It's right at the edge of how I'm not sure if I'm going to make a move on it. It's right at the edge of the market move. Okay, let's keep rolling, Maxie. Let's go on to Drake, Cincinnati. This total opened up at 139.5. It's now at 140 or 140.5. Cincinnati opens up at minus 13. Now 12s across the board. How are you handling Drake, Cincinnati?
Yeah, so I don't think that I'm going to give an official play for this game, but I will break down a little, give you my thoughts on it, because a lot of people that I respect are on Drake, but my initial lean was to take Cincinnati and to take the under. So that seems to be a play that a lot of people are against, and I don't want to put that on my show record. Cincinnati obviously is going to have a lot easier time scoring the basketball for the Cumberland Cousins tonight, not playing the Ohio State defense. I think that Drake also is going to need to get a continued contribution from the bench from Jonah Jackson, who poured in 15 points and 5 for 8 from the three-point line. They got to get to the free throw line. They got to share the ball. This is a team that can give you 20 to 25 assists in a game because they like each other. They know how to get the ball to each other in their spots. Tremel Murphy being suspended is a big deal for me. That puts a lot more pressure on Anthony Murphy and DJ Wilkins, but I think DJ Wilkins is up to the task. I think that this game, Drake is definitely not going to have as easy of time scoring the basketball as they have recently. I think that Cincinnati will go back to playing more of a slow down type of style based on the personnel that they have. It suits them best, in my opinion.
Interesting. So you are staying off of Drake, Cincinnati.
I've bet both the side and total, but for show and record purposes, I'm not betting it on the show.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
No, it's absolutely. And the sign of how seriously Max takes his record, I absolutely love that. I've got no problem with that. All right, let's move on to Kent State, Towson. Kent State opening up at a pick'em, now 2.5 or 3-point dogs. 5 dimes in their tops now plus 3. This total opened up at 140.5. You can get anywhere between 139.5 and 138. Max, Kent State, Towson.
First off, I'll say I think Towson wins the game at home. Obviously, you're getting a very different animal from George Washington compared to Kent State. But you got to keep in mind that this Kent State team is having to reinvent themselves after losing Jalen Walker and Jalen Avery to graduation. That puts the onus on 6-foot point guard, scoring guard Antonio Williams to really be the focal point of the offense. I look for a contribution from Danny Pippen, the 6'9" forward, to actually have to step up and play against a pretty solid, gritty front court for Towson. Obviously, production from the bench is going to be is going to be an issue, and I want to know what Anthony Roberts and Giovanni Santiago can do in a game against a D1 team and not against a D2 team. I think that Giovanni Santiago can be a very good assist man. I think that he can also really run the offense from a 6-man perspective and give Antonio Williams more time off the ball. But tonight, I think that Brian Fobbs is going to show off how good he is. I think that the fact that you have Jawad Gray emerging off the bench and giving you some front court production, I think that's going to be beneficial for the whole team because they were very reliant on Brian Fobbs last year. I don't think so this year. Alan Bertrand is going to be the Batman's Robin, and I think that Towson wins the game, and I think that they play defense in the first half, and then they let it a little loose in the second half, but the game stays under.
Game stays under. Would you like to make an official play on this under?
No, I won't. Just because I would prefer to take Towson on the money line, but the line has moved to 2.5 from the pick'em that I gave out early this morning.
All right, so you're staying off Kent State.
Excuse me. Sorry, that's incorrect. This under was an official betting with a bag play.
Oh, really? I tried to find it on Twitter. I couldn't find any official bag plays. Did I miss that?
So, yeah, there's an official betting with a bag play 6 hours ago. Towson under 139.5 minus 110. I had lined the game at 132.5, and I had missed the opener of 141.5. It had gone down to 135, 136, but now it's back up to about 138.5.
Oh, wow. I see it right there. My fault, Max. Official betting with the back play. Hitting this now as it goes down. Towson under 139.5 at minus 110. Okay, I'm going to copy and paste that right now. Copy and paste. There we go. Thank you. Sorry, I was looking for them today and I didn't seem to find one. All right, there we go. Max is on the board. He's on the under in Towson. And Naeem will be at the Towson game. Naeem, 25. Man, I love Naeem. Great low bagger there. Going to be at the game. Nasty Nate wants you to know that he has fresh water in his bong and he's smoking during this whole segment. All right, let's get to work on the next spot on this card. And we go to Bowling Green, Jacksonville. Bowling Green opening up at 8.5, now 10s and 10.5s. This total opening up at 151.5. Now still 151.5 at Bookmaker, but 150 at Pinnacle. Max, Bowling Green, Jacksonville.
Okay, so I've already given out to my buddies Bowling Green minus 8.5. So that's a play for me. I think that they cover this spread. I think that they cover double digits. I had this game lined at 14.5. I think that there is definitely not being given enough respect to this Bowling Green Falcon team. They are going to win the MAC. I'll say it right now. As long as they stay healthy, they're getting some front court production from Taylor Matos on the glass. And I think that they played well against LSU. They just got a little too reliant on the jump shot, not taking it to the line, not being aggressive, not taking that at the size at LSU. But the bench let them down. When you go 3 for 21 from the field and that's your bench, when you just lost your top front court player from last year, that's not going to be a winning recipe. I think that Bowling Green gets right tonight. I think that they limit fouling in bad spots, and I think that Jacksonville, without JD Note, is going to feel the loss tonight. Bryce Workman's a solid pro, and I think that he's going to be a great player for Jacksonville in the A-Sun. And Amani Santos is obviously a three-point threat, but this team has major turnover issues. If you can't protect the offensive glass and you're giving the ball away unforced, well, you're not going to be able to cover a spread. And I think that Bowling Green's going to be able to bang on the offensive glass with their guards. And I think that they're going to keep Jacksonville off the free throw line. So I'm looking for a lower scoring game tonight. I'm going to be getting on the under for a show official play. What can you get me on the under in this Bowling Green Jacksonville game, Jim?
Let's line shop for you, Max. Let's line shop for Max right now. Bowling Green, Jacksonville. There is a 151.5 at minus 113 available at Bookmaker and a 151 to minus 110. So 151.5 at minus 113?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I'll bite on it. Sometimes you need a hook. I needed a hook in the Detroit Mercy game yesterday. I didn't get it.
We're going to give it to you right there. Bowling Green, Jacksonville, under 151.5 at minus 113. All right, we're making moves. We got lots of time. Max, I know you were working this weekend. Was it a good weekend for you, my friend?
At the club, yes, it was. I saw lots of ladies. They were dancing, they were drinking, and they were tipping. Because you know what I always say, just because you're pretty doesn't mean you don't got to tip.
You're right. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Okay, let's walk on to USC Upstate versus NC Central. This total opened up at 140, and it's pretty much around there. We have 140.5s and 141s available. And then from a side perspective, NC Central opens up at minus 6. Now we have 7.5s across the board. Max, USC Upstate, North Carolina Central.
Yeah, so this game's pretty simple for me. I don't trust USC Upstate. Everett Hammond, Tommy Bruner, and Brandon Martin, they're just not the type of guys that I want to be putting my money on. They got to stay out of foul trouble, and they got to make free throws. 60% isn't going to cut it. This is a team that is going to struggle to hit 30% from the three-point line on a game-to-game basis. So the only play for me to make in this game is to go with NC Central. You got to keep in mind, though, NC Central is losing quite a few production pieces from last season. And I think that in their first game, you have to keep in mind that 30 turnovers were committed. That killed them. When Randy Miller and Jabriri Blunt, your two top offensive pieces, and the guys that are going to handle the ball the most, are making those types of mistakes, and the amount of them, that's the kind of volume that you can't win with. You can't ever win with. So I'm thinking NC Central cleans it up tonight. I think that they get reamed out, worked hard in practice. They hit their threes, they make their free throws, and they cover, and they push this game under 140 or 141 if I can get it.
All right, you can get it. You can get it up to, well, actually, that's juice to the over. Wow. Very interesting. Pinnacle has that total juice to the over. Here we go. If you want wow. God, I'm not used to Pinnacle putting so much juice on these games. So the under 141, it's like they don't want you to bet on this game. Under 141 is minus 109. The over is at minus 121. Never see Pinnacle do that. The under is under 141 at minus 109 at Pinnacle.
I'll take that. No problem.
All right, book it. USC Upstate under 141. Under 141 at minus 109. All right, let's break into Florida Gulf Coast, Dartmouth. You had a great call with Dartmouth earlier last week. A great call when they were big dogs and they won outright. This total opened up at 138. It's now at 139, and we are going to spreads right now quickly. And it opened Dartmouth minus 8. There's still 8s on the board. There's also some 8.5s, Max. Florida Gulf Coast, Dartmouth.
Yeah, this Florida Gulf Coast team obviously is close to me. Obviously, I remember Dunk City. It brought great joy and great width to my wallet. My wallet was bulging out. I had to actually sit up like this, So I got love for Florida Gulf Coast, but they've been suspect. They got their ass kicked by St. Louis. They lost by 22. They battled hard against UMBC, but at the end of the day, they weren't able to score a bucket when they needed it and defend without fouling. So I'm looking for Zach Scott to have a better game, and I'm also looking for my fellow Canadian Jalen Warren, the 6'3" guard out of Milton, Ontario, to have a impact. Obviously, this team has to realize that if you're going to foul, you better be hitting the three-point shot. And if you're hitting the three-point shot, you better not make them and then not defend them. So that's going to be an issue for me with this team. Dartmouth, they're playing a six-man rotation from what I can see. They're going to miss Brendan Barry, the point guard, and his three-point shot. James Foy is going to try and do his best. But I think that with having him at the point, you lose his offensive scoring production because he's trying to distribute and get back on defense to be that last line of defense. In the end, Chris Knight is the kind of guy that I want to get on. 18-11 in his last game. But the one issue for me with the Dartmouth team is, are they going to hit their three-point shot? I think tonight at home, they're going to be able to hit the three-point shot. I look for them to do better than 4 for 16. I look for them to unleash a three-point barrage against a Florida Gulf Coast team that doesn't defend the three-point line well. So if both these teams can hit threes tonight, we're going to get over this 139. So that's how I'm looking at it. And if I'm making a play on the side, I'm not going to do it for show record purposes, but I'd be looking at Florida Gulf Coast at the plus points to see if they got the fortitude to come to play tonight and stay within the number.
So we are taking an over in Florida Gulf Coast, Dartmouth?
Yes, sir.
We are getting 139. That's minus 110 across the board. Over 139, minus 110. That is the Dartmouth over. Dartmouth over. And that will be the first play on this card that I will be tailing of Max's. This Dartmouth, Florida Gulf Coast over. Okay, we move on to VMI Presbyterian. This total opened up at 145. 5 Dimes still has it at 145, but Pinnacle's dropped it 2 points lower to 143, and Bookmaker just dropped it down to 143 and a half. VMI opening at minus 4. There's mostly 3.5s on the board, but Bookmaker still hanging the 4. Max, Presbyterian, Virginia Military.
Yeah, Presbyterian obviously got destroyed when it comes to people leaving. That just puts a lot of pressure on guys like J.C. Younger and Ben Drake. Ben Drake is a guy who I think has a lot of room to grow this season. I think that he's going to. A good low post scorer, solid front court piece, and can play a little bit of defense, but has to limit his fouling. It's got to stay on the floor. Obviously, for this Presbyterian team, you really have to limit the turnovers. When you have 16 turnovers between the 2, 3, and 4 starting positions, that's not going to get you any wins. That's not going to get you any covers, and that's not going to get you any love from me, even against a team like VMI. I think that VMI is going to be able to feast on Presbyterian if they're not hitting free throws and they're turning the ball over like they were against Clemson. Obviously, with Bubba Parham leaving, think that takes a lot of the scoring punch away from this VMI cadet team. But his brother Greg is there, and I think that he's going to try and climb and take the throne. And I think that he has a good shot to do it, Miles Stevens is the guy that I need to come to play tonight. I would need him getting on the glass, getting in the front court, scoring some balls down low, really keeping the defense honest. You don't want Presbyterian packing the paint and then VMI just hoisting up a lot of threes. I think that there's going to be a good balance of scoring for VMI tonight, and I think that they win this game. So I'm going to take them on the first half. And can you tell me what I can get for them on the spread?
I will right now. First half, there's Stat Guap in the house. St. Louis Elite in the house. St. Louis Elite said, Max, that he loves VMI as much as a stripper dipped in caramel.
You know what? Caramel's an acceptable sauce to dip one of the local independent contractors in because it's sticky and it doesn't give you gas.
Good point, Max. Good point. VMI, you can get -1.5. First half at -115.
Is there any -110 around?
That's the only 1.5 on the board.
All right, give me it. I'll take it.
All right, VMI. Okay, and then why are you focusing on first half instead of full game with VMI?
Because VMI is a really bad free throw shooting team, and if, let's say, it's a close game and they're in the bonus halfway through the second half, I do not want this game to come down to 10 missed free throws. That should have won me my bet, so I'll take it in the first half.
And I will tail that first half from Max. VMI first half, -1.5, -115. All right, we got time. No need to rush, but let's keep rolling through this card. Only one ranked team playing tonight. We're not going to get there for a little while. Now we get to Georgia Southern. Our guy, your guy, my guy, Sean Williams has already told us that he likes Georgia Southern. I didn't copy and paste enough of people talking about Georgia Southern, but there was another Gepper that I know that I keep an eye on who is also on Georgia Southern. Here we go. Georgia Southern, North Florida. Georgia Southern opens up at -1.5, now 3.5 at Pinnacle, 4 at other books. This total opened up at 156.5, has shot up to 159 or 159.5, Max. Georgia Southern, North Florida.
Yeah, so obviously we saw Georgia Southern play Auburn in their first game. It was definitely a competitive game. Quan Jackson and Ike Smith were definitely, as advertised, putting in that work. But the guy who really impressed me was Calvin Wishart. This kid came off the bench, put in some work. I think he's going to be that next scoring guard, for this Georgia Southern team. He's emerging 100%, but he's got to limit his turnovers. He's got to take better care of the ball. He's got to stay on the floor. This is a guy that can slash. This is a guy that can get to the free throw line, and I have a lot of faith in his growth that we're going to see over the next couple months. This Georgia Southern team's easy to get behind because you know what? They hit their free throws. 71% as a team is something that I can get behind. I like to have a team that can make 70% of their free throws. I like guys that can hit 80%, obviously, but that's for starters. The problem with Georgia Southern tonight is, first off, the line. We've seen already in this first week of the season that we've had home dogs in these situations where we're focused on the road favorite. We're seeing the line move in that favor, and then we see that home dog come out and dominate. That's what I'm scared about in this North Florida Georgia Southern game. That's what's having me hold off right now on betting it, because I was looking at getting on North Florida +4. Obviously Noah Horschler is not back. He's transferred to Providence. But Carter Henriksen and Garrett Sams, these are two nice pieces. And Wahid Aminu in the front court, he can protect the rim as long as he stays out of foul trouble. If North Florida is hitting their three-point shots, this is going to be a tough game for Georgia Southern. And I think that as long as North Florida protects the ball and doesn't turn the ball over unnecessarily in key opportunities when they're on a run or when they're trying to stop a run, I think that North Florida actually has a good bit of value. If I'm looking to make a bet on this game, I'll be looking at the under 159 or 160 if I can get it, because I'm fading this line movement. I had this game lined at 151.5.
Wow, you can't get a 160, but you can get a 159.5 if you so please. 159.5. Wow, juiced minus 122 at Pinnacle. Wow, 159.5 is minus 110 at Bovada, Heritage, and Bet365.
Yeah, I'll take the 159.5 at Bet365s.
All right, we have another play from Max, a Georgia Southern under 159.5 at minus 110. All right, let's keep rolling along here. Let me move over back to spreads and totals. So we are going to be rolling through each and every one of these games on the card. All you have to do is go to the NCAA page on sportsbookraeview.com, and you can follow along with us. Next up, Elon, Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech opening up at minus 23. It's where they stand now. This total has been around 142, 141.5, or 142.5 all day long, although Heritage has just popped up a 143. Max, Elon, Georgia Tech.
Yeah, this is a game that I'm not going to be betting a side on, but I will be tailing our very own Noli Knows, who has posted the over on this, and I'll be jumping on it, I think, at a little bit of a better number. The thing with Elon is you lose Tyler Severing, you lose Steven Santa'Anta, and you have to replace a lot of production. You were very reliant on those two guys to be your offense and be your leadership on the court last year. Luckily, they were able to get Marcus Sheffield, the Stanford transfer, and I think he's going to be phenomenal. I think he's a slasher. He's a guy that really attacks the bucket, and with this three-point line being moved out to the European line, we're going to have a lot more guys that are slashers getting to the bucket, getting free throws, making free throws. So Marcus Sheffield, I think that's what's going to happen tonight. I also look for Federico Poser. He's the sixth man off the bench for Elon. I look for him to make a good impact tonight also. This is a guy that can be really a spark plug and give you a little bit of rebounds, give you some points, find some guys open on the perimeter for open jump shots. So I'm excited to see what this Elon team can do against a D1 team. But in my opinion, Georgia Tech is definitely playing with a chip on their shoulder, not going to be in the postseason. James Banks is on a mission. He wants to be an All-American. And I think that I want to see Bubba Parham, the VMI transfer that we just spoke about, contribute offensively to this Georgia Tech team. And I think tonight this is a good opponent for them to do so. And I'm liking the over. So what can I get the over? Because I want to get on with Noli.
Wow, we are all in a state of shock right now hearing Noli and over put together. And you guys saw what I did on Friday. So Friday wasn't a great day for me. It was 3-4. But right at the end when we were reviewing Max's plays, I said, wow, look, Max is betting against UConn, his team. Look, Max is on Sacred Heart first half. When you bet against your team, which is Noli's team is unders, I always think, man, that guy knows what he's talking about. And Sacred Heart only lost by 3 points that first half. I had him plus 9.5. And look at that. Noli knows. Yes, sir, correct. Elon, Georgia Tech, over. I'm tailing too. Let's see what we can get. The over 141.5 is juiced to minus 120. There's an over 142 at minus 110. Is that half point worth 10 cents, Max?
Yeah, it is. Actually, no. I want the minus 110 line.
I agree. I want the minus 110 line as well. All right, here we go. Tailing Noli and Max here. Elon over 142 at minus 110. Wow, exciting. Okay, let's keep rolling along here, and I need to speed up our pace a little bit. Next up, Sanford, Belmont. Belmont opening up at minus 8.5 now. 9.5. This total opened up at 158. It's gone all the way down to 154.5. Max, Sanford, Belmont.
Okay, I'm a real big fan of the Sanford team. I have been for about 18 months. I just cashed a really nice ticket with them against Kentucky Wesleyan. It was a Bet365 line. It was a beautiful casher. I loved it. Sanford, stay aggressive. Fast in transition. Go up and down as much as you can. Sharky, be aggressive, but don't turn the ball over and don't foul unnecessarily. Work off the ball screens. Don't run into them. It's pretty goddamn simple. Be steal happy because every guy in this backcourt can be a defensive standard in this game. And I expect for Sanford to be aggressive on the ball handlers, to really pressure Murphy of Belmont, and not let him really get his shot wherever he wants. Robert Allen, the sophomore, the 6'8" sophomore, I look for him to really be a difference maker for the Sanford team this year. I expect him to take a big step forward. I expect him to get on the glass, hit shots from the perimeter, and be that front court piece to go along with Jalen Dupree, who's also very impressive. Jalen Dupree is a JUCO transfer. He's a big body, a wide body. Look for him to get down on the post and have his hands full with Jake Muzinski tonight. But I'm looking at Sanford in this game, and if I can get 9.5 or 10 points on them, I'd be happy as a duck.
You can get 9.5. You can't get 10. Let's get you Sanford right now. Plus 9.5 at minus 103. That's available at 5 dimes. Max is on Sanford plus 9.5 at minus 103. Let's keep rolling along. We have Florida Atlantic, Alabama. Alabama opening up at minus 11. By the way, Big Ragu is on Georgia Tech minus the 23. Great having Ragu in the chat with us. A lot of great cappers rolling with us. Okay, Florida Atlantic, Alabama opening up at minus 11.5. Now minus 12.5 with a couple minus 13s. But the big story about this market move is right there on this screen. The over right now is shocking. It's gone, the total has dropped fast. This total opened at 147.5 and is up to 156 at 5 dimes. Wow. Florida Atlantic, Alabama, Max.
Well, Jim, that was my first overnight play. I was sitting on the live line, Sunday Night Football edition with the Sports Keg CEO and the crew. And what did I say? I was staring at that line. I was barely awake because I was tired as hell from capping, cashing, and yelling at the TV. And I said, take Alabama. That is too short of a number. First off, Nate Oates is the coach. They're going to run the Buffalo system. 4 guards, up and down the floor. Kira Lewis with the ball in his hand. Kira Lewis has making up to do after that Penn game. I'll tell you that. Second off, Herb Jones out for Alabama. That's your best front court piece I can get on the glass and protect the rim to an extent. I think that they're going to be relying on scoring the basketball. I think that this game is going over the opening line. I also hit it over 150.5 at Bet365 plus 135. And now, with the great advice from one of our friends, SBR's own Mark Lathrop, I'm thinking about trying to middle this game and get on the under 156 minus 110 at 5 dimes.
For show purposes, are you making a move on this game?
Yes, I am. I have the official pick already of the 147.5, and I'm
really?
doubling up and taking the 156 under at 5 dimes.
Oh, wow. Sorry, my fault. And where's the official play? That's on your Twitter?
Yeah, it's on my Twitter.
Okay. There we go. Official betting with the back play. I see it right here. My fault, Max. Man, if you want, if you tag me too, that might help, but you don't have to. Or say, I want to be able to retweet these plays that you're on when I see them. There we go. Alabama over 147.5 at minus 110. There we go, Max. Put that out last night. Watch Live Line tonight because you won't only get our plays in play in NFL. You also hear Max talk about college basketball. So we got the Alabama over, and then we are going for a middle right now with Alabama. Oh, that's exciting, man. That is exciting. And Dean Williams wondering about the cover here. Yes, Captain 24/7. I'll put my props in the chat in a second. We're going for this under as well in the Alabama game. Here we go, Florida Atlantic. So we have under 156. There's no 156.5s, but I can give you under 156 at minus 105 at Heritage.
Yep, that's amicable. I'll take that.
Wow. Oh, I hope you double this. Middle this. Under 156 at minus 105. Oh, that's exciting. All right. Max is going for his first middle on our show. He does this all the time, but on our show. Another reason why you have to follow this guy on Twitter, Maxwell Smart 420. All right, let's move on to DePaul, Iowa. Open at 149.5, now 146.5. We've already heard that Noli likes this under very much, which means he's already bet it. So the under open at 149.5, now 146.5. This open at minus 9. Now we have 9.5s and a couple 10s. Max, DePaul, Iowa.
The reason why I go by Maxwell Smart is because I'm smart enough to follow great cappers from the Low Bag Chat on Twitter. One of them is Noli Knows. I can't stop talking about this guy. He's like my master Jedi master, and I'm Luke Skywalker. He's Yoda. I'm learning the ways of the under, and I'm on this under also with him. When I saw that he was on it, I looked at it. I checked out how I created the line for it. There was a big enough edge, and with a 51% free throw shooting team in DePaul, a team that wants to slow it down and does not want to run and gun with the backcourt depth that Iowa has, it makes sense. Charlie Moore is playing off his ass. 3 games already into the season. He is just showing that he should have been getting some minutes at Kansas. Probably better than Quentin Grimes, in my opinion. But this Charlie Moore and this DePaul team, I think that they're in a prime spot to slow the pace down, try and frustrate Iowa, make Iowa play a little slower than they want to. And remember, Iowa has to learn how to play without Tyler Cook. That was your shot maker when Luka Garza was in foul trouble, and the matchups didn't really suit him getting the touches at the end of the game. You have to worry about Jordan Bohannon and his health coming back from like a major injury, and Connor McCaffrey, the coach's son, obviously is getting minutes. But in the end, I think that this under is a good spot. I think that you can get on the 146.5 and still hit it. But if I'm looking at the spread, I'm looking at DePaul here. I think that DePaul and Paul Reed bring another element that Iowa's not see much during the non-conference season. So at 6'9", Paul Reed's a beast. He's a double-double machine. I look for him to get his third double-double tonight for all you fantasy sports players.
So what is your official play for the show?
I'm going to take DePaul on the spread, plus 9.5, minus 105.
I think I can get you a 10 here, Max. Let me get to it right now. DePaul, I can. DePaul at Pinnacle and Heritage. Heritage giving you the best line. Plus 10 at minus 105. DePaul plus 10 at minus 105. And notice that he didn't give us the under. It's moved 3 points. And I understand that at the 3-point move, if you could get that 149.5, take it. If you get that 148, take it. But 146.5 might be a little too short. All right, let's keep rolling along here. We have Louisiana Monroe, Texas A&M. Texas A&M opening up at minus 15.5. Now it's at 15, and there's 14.5s on the board. We go to totals very quickly here. Louisiana Monroe, Texas A&M opened up at 140.5, and now all the way down to 133, Max. Louisiana Monroe, Texas A&M.
Yeah, so this is a bet that I made on my personal accounts, but obviously it's not going to be going towards my official show record. But I took the under 140.5, and I'm going to be getting on the over 133.5 in this game. With this Buzz Williams team, hold on, we're talking about the Texas A&M game, right?
Yes, we're talking about the Texas A&M Louisiana Monroe.
All right, I was looking at the Corpus Christi notes. Okay, so TJ Starks is questionable with a foot injury for Texas A&M tonight, so I'm a little worried about the guard production that you're going to lose from that. And I'm also interested to see how Wendell Mitchell adjusts to have Savion Flagg playing beside him as much as they're going to in these Buzz Williams 4-guard lineups. Texas A&M has a lot of size on the bench, but I don't see them using it a lot this year. I do see John Aku, the Nigerian freshman, coming in at 6'10", and I see him contributing in a front court perspective. But I don't see Texas A&M playing the way that they played last year. I see them playing more like Virginia Tech did last year, and that means that they're going to play a little faster. They're going to try and score the ball a little more. And at 133.5, I think this is a number that we can get over. Louisiana Monroe obviously is less explosive, less three-point reliant without Dyshawn Smith and Travis Munnings. But I think that with Michael Ertl and J.D. Williams, you got guys that know how to take it to the bucket, use the extra space that you're going to have with this three-point line being back. And if they can get to the line 25 times, 60% making free throws is acceptable. And it's the same deal with Texas A&M. They're going to play faster. They're going to get to the free throw line. They're going to use the space on the floor. We're going to see a lot of teams do this. And at a low total like this is another that I want to middle. And I lean toward Texas A&M on the spread, minus 14.5.
Did you tweet out the over? Or sorry, the initial
No.
under?
No, I didn't. I was talking to my guys about it.
Okay, but do you want, for official show purposes, to take this over?
Yes, I do.
It's gone down all the way to 132.5, Max. Is that just nuts? Is that too far?
No, because I'm middling right now. I have an 8.5 point. I have an 8.5 point freaking cushion.
If you
I
weren't,
gotta take it.
if you didn't already have the under, would you take the over at 132.5?
No, I wouldn't. I'd be leaving it off. I do think that it goes over, but I don't think that it was going to go over 140. I had it lined at 135.5.
But you don't have the under for official show purposes, but you're still going to take the over.
Yeah.
Very, very, very interesting game here. Wow. Okay, Louisiana Monroe over 132.5. It just feels like a spot where it's gone too far in one direction. If Pinnacle wasn't leading the way, I'd jump with you. And I may jump with you. You're saying, say what?
Oh, I understand where you're coming from. There's been some crazy line movement, but I will bring us back to that Idaho State game last week. I beat the line by like 7 or 8 points, and what happened? It went over 150. Listen, Jim, I could get brave, and I hit this on both sides of the 132.5 for a plus price. Sell a couple points on the under, sell a couple points on the over, and we can try and middle and make a little bit of profit on the juice.
Oh, I love it. I'm very interested. I may make a move very quickly on it. Let's keep rolling. Texas A&M, Corpus Christi, Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt opening up 14.5, now up to 17.5, and this total opened at 134. It's now down to 133.5 or 132.5, Max. Texas A&M, Corpus Christi, Vanderbilt.
Okay, so Vandy, first off, I like Vandy to win by 20. I'm not going to take it because it's moved 3.5 points. The value is gone. You're hitting the ass end of the line. Second, Vandy's going to push the pace. Vandy's going to rely on Aaron Nesmith and Saban Lee to score the basketball. That's okay. They probably can't beat Jerry Stackhouse in one-on-one, but I'm sure that they can beat Miles Smith and Jashawn Tarleton of Texas A&M Corpus Christi. This is a bad Corpus Christi team. They didn't freaking go on the transfer market and bring in some scoring production that they're sorely going to need this year. 59% from the free throw line is not impressive. I don't think that's going to improve. I think that's going to be a standard for them. 23% from the three-point line, so nothing sexy about them. I'd be looking at Vandy, obviously. I just said that. But I'd also be looking at the over. I think Vandy's going to score 85 to 90 points. And I think that the team total under on Texas A&M Corpus Christi, if you can get it, is going to have some value to me.
Are you making an official play on this show?
I would like the Texas A&M Corpus Christi team total under if you can get it for me.
I might be able to, but that would require... okay, I will while you're... But okay, yeah, I will. Here, I'll take a look at a couple different books. Here, okay, but we're gonna have to move on. So you're looking for the Texas A&M Corpus Christi team total under, if I can find it. We're gonna move on to Alabama A&M UAB. UAB opening up at 23. That's where they stand, and this total stands at 133.5 or 134. Alabama A&M UAB, Max.
Alabama A&M is bad. I'll put it like that. This is gonna be really short and sweet. I'm not betting the side. I don't like the size of the number. UAB hasn't shown me that they can cover these numbers even against really bad teams. Watch them do that tonight. So anybody who's on it, do not be worried. This is just a game I don't want to bet.
A game you don't want to bet. Okay, can't get one there. I'm going to look at a different book here. Why don't we go into Pinnacle? Why don't we do that? Okay, let's keep rolling along here. And now we get to Bethune-Cookman. Nebraska-Omaha opens at 12. And now 10s. Nebraska-Omaha, 10-point favorites. It's total opened up at 152.5, now 151. Max, Bethune-Cookman, Nebraska-Omaha.
Yeah, I don't think Bethune-Cookman's going to lose by 40 points like they did against Texas Tech. They have some solid pieces in Malik Poplin. I think I pronounced that name right. But he's a double-double machine. This is obviously a team that plays in a very low conference in the MEAC. But I just don't think against an Omaha team that loses Zach Jackson and Mitch Hahn, that's going to make a difference. I think that Omaha is going to smoke these guys. I obviously was very disappointed with how North Dakota State played, but I think that Omaha is going to come out, represent for the Summit League, and represent for our very own Ant Larson of the Sports Cag because he loves Omaha. And I think that Omaha is covered in this game. I think that the game's going to go under because Bethune-Cookman will struggle to score. And I think that when you find these teams routing some of these low major teams like Bethune-Cookman, these games stay under, even though the spread's hit. So no official pick on the game for me, but if I was forced to take a play, I'd be taking the favorite and I'd be taking the under.
Okay, no official play on Bethune-Cookman, Nebraska, Omaha. Max, I did no number at Bet365, a number at Pinnacle. I can keep looking if you want. Pinnacle does not want you to take the team total under for Texas A&M Corpus Christi. It's 59.5 at minus 132.
Oh my God, I would still take that. Even with the juice. Like, I don't expect this team to go north of 65 points.
So Texas A&M Corpus Christi under 59.5 points at minus 132. An official player, do you want me to keep looking?
Yes, sir. If that's what you can find with limited time that we have, let's put it. Let's get it on this. Let's get it on the board. And obviously, if I find a better number, we can talk about it on the live line show.
Okay. That sounds good to me. All right. And Captain 24/7 liking the UAB under. Ben Sports 24/7 saying UAB number not too big against Alabama A&M. Riku Roxas says bet the UAB number. Oh, but Riku Roxas thinks that UAB number is too big. Okay, let's keep rolling right now. Next up, it's fun watching you work, Max. Yale, San Francisco. San Fran, you had a lot of success with last year, opening up at minus 5.5, now 5s and 4.5. This total opening up at 148, dropped all the way down to 143. Bet online hanging at 144.5. Max, Yale, and the Dons.
Yeah, I already bet the under in this game. I definitely think that they wanted to push the pace against Cornell, was it? I think it was Cornell. Was it? No, it was against Princeton. Okay, so obviously Princeton runs a different offense than Cornell, so that takes away that point. The fact is with the San Francisco team, at home, new coach, same core players. You're missing Frankie Ferrari, but Charles Minlin has been a solid piece, knows how to take it to the bucket. He's a great slasher. I think that he's going to benefit from this new three-point line. The real question for me is, what kind of production are you going to get out of Jimbo Lowe? When you get 15-11 out of him and he got into foul trouble, it only makes me salivate at the mouth thinking about what can I get from this guy if he plays 35 minutes. Jimbo Lowe's a 7-footer, and as a short person, I love tall people, okay? They're good for getting things off the top shelf, for clearing a way through a crowd at a crowded club, and they're also good for unders. I look for Jimbo Lowe to be a good rim protector tonight. I look for Charles Minlin to drive / lead this team in offense. I look for Jordan Ratno to rediscover his three-point shot, and I just hope with all my heart that San Francisco bench is not challenged with having to put in guard play tonight. If these San Francisco guards can stay on the floor against Yale, they're winning, they're covering, and this game's going under.
Wow. So what is your move for official play purposes?
Official play purposes is going to be San Francisco full game on the spread if you can get me minus 4.5.
I can get you minus 4.5. Let's get them it right now. Line shopping here at sportspreview.com SBR odds page. Here we go. Yale, San Francisco, minus 4.5 is at minus 105 at Heritage. There's 110s. There's 106s. San Francisco. Full game -4.5 and -105. All right, we are rolling. We've gone through 17 games with 3 games left, and we get to our first ranked team playing this evening. It's number 18th ranked St. Mary's. They opened at -18, now they're -19, going up against Winthrop. Let's see what we're talking totals. We're going to spreads and totals here. And remember, these opening lines are 5 dimes opening lines. Let's get there right now. Winthrop St. Mary's opening up at 141.5. Still there. There are 141s on the board. Max, Winthrop St. Mary's.
Yeah, so obviously Winthrop just played against Fresno State, so there is some travel and some fatigue issues to take into consideration. Also, the fact that Winthrop lost 38 points per game from their backcourt. Obviously, they're going to rebound and figure it out, but in this game, the only way that I'm looking is at St. Mary's. I would lean towards the under. I'm not going to have official record. I'm not going to have official pick on this game, but St. Mary's at 17.5 to 19.5 is the edge that I have, and that's what I would play.
All right, that's the edge that you have right here, St. Mary's. So no official play on it?
No official play on it.
No official play. To our guy, Eric Bruner, said, sorry, Kimmy Lake, what does Max think of DePaul? +9.5 against Iowa tonight. We line shopped and got him +10. He is on DePaul, +10 against Iowa tonight. My guy, Eric. Okay, let's keep rolling along right now. So the next spot, 2 games left. We have Florida A&M, South Dakota. South Dakota opening up at -17.5, now -17s across the board. This total opened up at 132.5, now 131 and 130.5. Max, Florida A&M, South Dakota.
Yeah, this is a game that I'm looking under. It's a neutral court. There could be some fatigue. I believe it's 3 games in 3 days. And I'm just not a fan of this Florida A&M team. I'm not impressed with their offense. I'm not impressed with how they move the ball. They make a lot of bad decisions with shot selection and passing opportunities. When you're playing offense and you're running a slow half-court deliberate offense, you can't give your teammate 3 seconds to do something with the ball when you've had it for 12 seconds in your hand. And that's Florida A&M in a nutshell. So I'm not looking to get on them. I'd be looking at South Dakota minus the points, even though it's a big number and 3 games in 3 days. I'm impressed with Stanley Umadi. I'm impressed with the South Dakota team. I think they're going to challenge in the Summit League. And I think that they got to smack Florida A&M in the mouth just like Pacific did yesterday.
So are you going to make a move here on South Dakota?
You know what? South Dakota is going to be my play of the day. How about them apples?
Wow, we have our play of the day. And that means we're going right up against Vince Verheiden, who's liking Florida A&M plus the points. We have the play of the day from Max, South Dakota -17. Open at 17.5, now 17. South Dakota -17 at -110. And I will be tailing the play of the day from Max. I don't like going up against Vince, but I will be tailing these plays of the day. South Dakota -17. All right, let's keep rolling. The final game on the card, Max, and then you have touched them all. Pacific, Hawaii. Hawaii opens up at -6.5, now 4.5 across the board. Pacific opening up at 132.5. It's still at 132 at some books and 130.5 at others. Max, final game on the board, Pacific, Hawaii.
Well, Jim, I'm going to make it short and sweet. Haven't looked or capped this game. My initial lead would be to Pacific, but you're going to have to tune into the live line, Monday Night Football, with myself, yourself, the Sports Keg CEO, and Ant Larson to hear what I got to say about that game, because I'm going to give out that pick over there.
That's exciting. That's very, very exciting. All right. There we have it. Max broke down each and every one of those games on the card. I love when we have these manageable cards. Max is made. So 20 games on the card, and we have 15 official bets. The 2 that were made on Twitter. 16 official bets because he's going for a middle. So he took Alabama over 147.5. That was 8 points ago. He's going for the middle on the under 156 at -105. The other game he tweeted out was Towson under 139.5. These are his additions. Kennesaw Mercer under 149 at -118. Bowling Green Jacksonville under 151.5 -113. USC Upstate under 141 at -109. Dartmouth over 139 -110. I'm tailing that. VMI first half, -1.5, -115. I'm tailing that as well. Then he's on Georgia Southern under 159.5, -110. Elon over 142 at -110. Samford +9.5 at -103. And then I said the Alabama middle. DePaul +10 at -105. The Louisiana Monroe over 132.5 at -111. Texas A&M team total under 59.5 at -132. San Francisco Dons -4.5, -105. And South Dakota -17 to -110 is the play of the day. So then I want to just quickly bounce back to this total in the Louisiana Monroe. Still sitting there at 132.5 with all the other books at 133 and 133.5. Strange. And even though Max isn't middling it for show purposes, he still jumped on that over. That opened 8 points ago. It just feels like we're at the bottom here, but why are they not jumping up? 323 Block says that San Francisco down to -4. So, Max, do you think I should make a move on that over 132.5? Why is Pinnacle asking for the cash at that number?
Well, I don't understand it either. I think that there obviously is a lot of attention being paid to this game because of the line movement, and I just can't figure out what the books are doing with this game. I don't think that there's an injury. I don't think that there's someone for A&M that's not going to be playing that we didn't know already. And I see both these teams getting to the free throw line and driving the ball, so it just seems like a proper spot to get the over on at this number when I created a line that is directly in the middle of the two bets I made.
Oh, thank you, Naeem, who says, which play was the over with Noli? That's the one I didn't add on. That's the Elon Georgia Tech over that we got at 142, right, Max?
Yes, it is.
Okay, sorry. So there, I'm tailing 4 plays. I'm jumping on that over. Thank you, Naeem. God, Naeem's going to have a fun night at the ball game tonight. Thank you for that reminder. Okay, I'm tailing 4 of the plays. Max is on 16 plays. Man, this is exciting stuff. Quickly, Joe and Easy says, any line moves we should beat for tomorrow? Yes, there will be. And you will find them on the live line this evening where I will be drinking. Max will be, I don't know. What snacks do you have for the game tonight, Max?
Well, I got a box of Gushers, but I'm actually going to run across the street, get some cookies, get some children's snacks, and then wait for you to make comments about them on the show.
Oh, Gushers is perfect, man. Gushers just, I feel like my brain's exploding with jokes, ready for that splash in the back of your throat. Beautiful. There he is, our guy, Maxwell Smart, and a nice looking record. Let's see what it looks like tomorrow. Before we get to tomorrow, Lucrative Larry now in the booth on the 1s and 2s. Lucrative Larry, could you put up Maxwell Smart's overall NCAA record? Take a look at it once more before we see what happens to the 16 games, official games we have on the book. Remember here at Betting with the Bag, it's honesty and transparency first. I wish it was just winners first, and that's what we're trying to do, but we want to be truthful and honest and transparent, and a very few cappers have the balls to do that. Max has the big balls for it. Follow this man, Maxwell Smart 420, at Maxwell Smart 420. Max, that was exciting to watch you break down the whole card. I look forward to hanging with you all night long. Any final words for these great cappers in the chat?
Yeah, of course. When you're going to get a chicken sandwich, make sure you go to Popeyes. That's where the best one is. Chick-fil-A is great and everything, but they shut it down at Young and Bloor, and now I can't enjoy it, so I'm back on the Popeyes. Let's go Cajun style.
And one more thing from our guy, one more thing from our Maxwell Smart. Could you please introduce Freddie?
Absolutely. Listen, with my new high-def camera, my extra lighting, it gives me the distinct honorary pleasure to introduce to you, Freddie Fortune.
Freddie,
That's me.
nice to see you.
It's nice to see me. Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
How are you, Jimmy?
I'm very good. I'm very good.
Yeah, you're a great person.
How are you doing?
I'm having a lot of. Hey, Larry, don't be an idiot.
Yeah, Larry, you should probably put it on me and Freddie now. Thank you, Larry.
Thank you, Larry.
Larry's kind of slow on the old trigger.
Well, I'm having a lot of feelings.
Why? What's going on?
Well, I'm tired.
Yeah? Why are you tired? It's Monday. You have a good weekend?
No. There's vegetarian wraps tomorrow.
Oh, that's good. I don't mind that.
We get lunch here, so we got food tomorrow.
Yeah. What's going on? What'd you do this weekend? Why are you so tired?
My head is killing me. I'm tired.
Yeah.
I had a weird weekend. I have to sleep once I get out of here because I have to get up at 2 in the morning.
Why?
I've been working on a farm, dagging sheep.
Yeah. I didn't realize that was this weekend. Is that going to be every weekend now?
Yeah.
Jesus. Okay. Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, Freddie Fortune's been working on a farm here in Costa Rica. It's actually way up, so it's freezing cold,
Yeah,
right?
it's 3,000 meters.
Jesus. And you're dagging sheep.
Yeah.
What is dagging sheep?
Do you want me to tell everyone?
I don't know what it is. Yes, I'd like to.
Well, do you know what a sheep is?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Yeah. Why are you laughing? This is not fun.
All right, don't listen to me.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay, dagging sheep is when you grab a sheep, and I'm very meticulous with my job, so
Sure.
dagging sheep is when you grab a sheep and start cutting the, how is it called, their hair
Okay.
of their anus. So you make sure that you slowly cut all the hair around the anus, and you make sure that it's really clean, so the anus is clear for the poop to come out, and the fuck, I'm so tired.
It's okay.
I don't know what I'm saying, but I like to take my time between anus and anus because sheep are very important to me. Dagging sheep is the best fucking thing ever.
Memphis Money says, great show, good info. Do you think he's talking about this info that you're giving right now?
Yeah.
Did you just lick your lips?
No, I didn't.
All right, I'm not going to sit here while you're licking your lips. All right? So you've been...
I like that your hair is growing.
Thank you. So you've been
Do you
shaving...
need me to dag your hair?
You've been shaving sheep anuses?
Yeah. It's I mean I have a really long line of work because I take around 35 to 2 hours between sheep and sheep.
All right.
My English is so awful at
No,
times.
it's fine. Okay. So we have the sheep dagging. That's what it's called, dagging sheep.
I'm the sheep dagger
And why does the anus need to be shaved?
because the poop comes out of the anus, and if it comes out and touch the hair, I mean,
Alright,
it will be like a
Okay.
weird.
I know that you've lost your last 2 plays. I seem
Yeah.
to say that often.
Last week was 2 and 2.
2 and 2. Okay. What is your action? What sport are we doing?
Soccer.
Soccer. Okay. Where?
Europe.
Oh. Okay.
Mhm. This is for the Euro qualifying.
All right.
It's Malta plus 4.5 goals over Spain at plus 105.
Malta plus 4.5 goals.
Yeah, they fucking suck. But I think this is a good spread for them.
For Malta.
Yeah.
All right. And when are you back? Oh, not applicable wants me to ask Flash about the sheep. It's not shagging. It's dagging.
Dagging like a dagger.
Yeah. Well, that's horrifying.
If you want a safe bet, you can bet Spain. It's minus 8,000 over Malta. I'm betting $10 on that.
Oh, good idea.
Yeah.
Good idea. That's a great idea. Okay, I'm going to leave.
Leave?
Rod Zawacki says you're licking your lips when I'm not looking. Is that facts? Because I'm going to ask you not to come on the show anymore.
No.
Okay. All right. I have tailed 4 of Max's plays. I'm on Dartmouth over 139, VMI first half minus 1.5, Elon over 142 at minus 110, and I'm on the play of the day, South Dakota minus 17. I've made 4 $100 prop bets, including the over 46.5, which I don't love anymore. Seattle, San Francisco combined rushing yards over 255.5. Matt Breida over 45.5 rushing yards. Tevin Coleman over 53.5 rush yards. And Niners gain more rushing yards than the Seahawks. I'll need to go 3-1 for a profit because they're all minus 120 and one's at minus 125.
Oh, what a pussy. Don't you bet underdogs all the time?
And then in NHL,
I'm asking you a question.
I'm on the Coyotes first period at plus 140.
Jimothy, pay
I am
attention.
also on 2 plays in NBA. Raptors first quarter plus 3 at minus 110, as well as the over 210.5 in the Warriors Jazz game. All right. Do you want to give us a leche before we leave?
You suck.
All right. I know it's not. Just pretend that the camera is a sheep's anus, and then give us a big ol' leche.
Leche. And los bookmakers, this is like the
Yeah, when you're shaving the asshole.
leche. And los bookmakers.